You want to be a tech. Cool. Well, my name's David Santana. I live here in Ohio, Rust Belt, rock on. Go Buckeyes, first foremost. You don't like the Bucks, you can go away because I don't give a fuck. Um, I work at AAA. I'm a loop tech. It's the low man on the totem pole. I've been there a little while. I've been working on cars since I was about 15. I'm 22 now. So I mean, yeah, I've got experience, but everybody starts somewhere. They aren't going to give you the keys to an airplane before you start learn to fly. You know what I mean? So you got to fly a small plane before you can fly a big one. Walk before you run, stuff like that. Got to earn your keep. Anyway, you want to be a tech? Cool. It's a great job. Hard, but great. You can go home and hang your hat up on a good day every day if you work hard. I have 3 tips here that will help you become a more successful technician if you decide to get into this field and stay serious about it. First and foremost, you, Miss Prospective Tech, have to be humble. Humility is something that this world lacks. Everybody thinks they know everything because they have Google at the tips of their fingers, or they go to a really nice school, or they do this or do that. And that is not the case. I mean, man, I went to tech school. I went to St. Clair Community College, which was in 2014 voted to the Automotive School of the Year. So it's one of those things like, just because you go to a really good school doesn't mean you take all the really good information that they provide. So I was very fortunate, and I feel like I absorbed a lot from that school. Go Tartans. And I still absorb a lot from it even to this day. Things that didn't apply to me then apply to me now. When you get into an actual job, school experience is great. It bees knees. It helps you. It basically teaches you the basics on how not to be a dumbass, for lack of a better word. Shit. Probably 90% of the new hires that you get think they know what they're talking about, and they don't. They might read a Car and Driver magazine and think they know. That is not the case. I was a cocky son of a bitch when I got out of school. I learned. They taught me real quick to shut up. Second, tools. Bread and butter. Job. Everything about your job revolves around your tools. Your most important tool, pen. This will make you or break you when it comes to your job. If you can't write down what's wrong so you remember yourself, you are going to have a very bad day every day till you learn to keep your pens. I keep mine right there. Handy little spot. You get one with a little clip on it. That way it don't fall out when you're moving around. Perfect. Other tools. As a loop tech, your tools are pretty limited that you need. Ratchets, sockets, wrenches, screwdrivers, impact driver, drill, stuff like that. That's pretty simple stuff. As a loop tech, there's nothing I use more than my wrenches, my sockets, and my impact drivers. Impact driver, I mean the nice handy little DeWalt impact drivers that have 1,330 inch pounds, which is like 100 and something foot pounds of torque at the fingertip. Really nice because there's nothing that kills your wrist more than turning screwdrivers all day, taking off air filters, or opening up an air filter box to check an air filter, or checking out a cabin air filter, or anything of that nature. Anything you can save yourself a couple seconds on adds up to a couple minutes to eventually saves you hours. Tools are the bread and butter of a technician. If you want to be a technician, you want to work on cars eventually and make yourself super useful to this world, you got to get the right tools. Don't just get ratchets and sockets and think that that's going to survive. You might be okay for a little bit, but you're going to get a job in where you're going to wish you bought those tools. Super important. You borrow a tool, return it clean. There's a guy at my shop right now that doesn't do that. He returns them filthy. And makes me really mad. I don't say anything to him because I try to be nice because he's never been in a shop before, but it's going to come to the point where I tell him not to touch my stuff because it's nothing I get more annoyed about than somebody taking my tools and returning them super oily and nasty. And I got to take the time to clean them, clean out my box, and make sure everything's cool. When you borrow tools, return them in a timely manner. Tools are very expensive. And I'm not talking like Harbor Freight tools that you pay like $3 for a socket set. No, I'm talking like Snap-on where you pay $300-$400 for a socket set, or Mac, or whatever brand is your fancy. I use them all. Return it. Return it right after you're done with it. Don't keep it for the rest of the day. Because if I gotta come looking for my tools because I let you borrow them, you're not going to be getting any more of my tools, and you have just burned your bridges with me personally because I can't trust you. I can't trust you to return my stuff that I paid tons of money for. And you better treat those tools better than you treat your own because you didn't pay for them. And it's very, very disrespectful, and men and women alike take that very personally. When you pay a lot of money for something, it's yours to fuck up. Anybody else messes it up before you, not cool. Just totally not cool. Third and final tip, follow directions. They tell you to torque a tire a certain pattern, you do that pattern. Don't do anything else because they tell you to do that for their safety and yours. When it comes to doing oil changes, pretty self-explanatory stuff. Take the oil out, put the oil drain plug back in, tighten it down. Don't wrench that bitch down like you don't ever want it to come out again, but snug it down to where it's not coming back out for anything other than another wrench. Oil filter. Big important thing right there. People often forget that oil filters have gaskets on them, and those gaskets do separate themselves from the filter a lot. I had 2 that happened to me today alone. It happens multiple times a week, depending upon where you're at and what you're doing. I live in the Rust Belt, so that shit happens a lot. There's no excuse for not torquing a tire, leaving oil out of a car, or double gasketing an oil filter. There's no excuse for it. It is gross negligence. You are not being conscious of your job. You are not being diligent, and you are not working effectively if you have to do that stuff. You don't torque a tire, you are risking people's lives. You know, Bobby McGee comes in, and him and his wife have 4 kids, and they're getting ready to go on a road trip, and they want to get their tires balanced and rotated. Easy money. Well, you being the lazy guy that you might be, if you forget to torque them down, you just take good old impact and you screw them on with a hand, and you're diligent about that because you know you don't want to cross thread them, and you go bam, 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 bam. That's not it. Because, sheer experience, my impact wrench has a 1,400 foot-pounds of working torque. It's a lot. And even to this day, when I torque down tires, I still find loose lug nuts. Simple as that. And a loose lug nut is a bad lug nut. It is bad. You don't want that in your life. Torque them down so you can rest easy every day. Now, for some wildly crazy reason, you don't torque your tires. I don't care about torque sticks. They are not 100% accurate. I don't trust them. You know, they get weak. Work hardening, work tempering, whatever you want to call it, they get weak. I don't trust them. it's drastically important that you torque tires. And if you don't, you might want to, because one day it could be you when you take your tires in to get fixed and done. You're gonna be driving down the street one day, and all of a sudden you're gonna look over and you're gonna see a tire roll, and you're like, man, that tire looks an awful lot like mine. All of a sudden you're gonna feel the car start to shift, and it's gonna fall over, and you're gonna hear a horrible grinding sound that you never want to hear again. Then you lose control of your car. You could hit a pole. You could hit another car. You could kill somebody else, and you could kill yourself in the process. So, to avoid all that issue and all those controversies and pains, you, my good sir, can take the extra 2 minutes it takes to torque a tire and save yourself all that trouble. Listen to directions. Listen to what they say. They've been at this a hell of a lot longer than you, and they've probably been around longer than you've been alive. Listen to them, because it can save your job. It can save your job and make you lots of money. Thanks, guys. If you got any ideas for future videos, please don't hesitate to drop them, like, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. If you have some criticisms, please don't hesitate. I mean, I'm using my phone. I'm very new at this. I know I probably won't get anything, but thank you for watching. Thank you. Please. Dogs. Thank you.